Some women enter a room, and it feels like the air shifts, warmer, lighter, calm. Others, the room breathes again only after they've left. Now, don't mistake this for bitterness. This isn't about blame, it's about vision. If you've walked this life long enough, you already know. Not every smile means safety. Not every hand you hold is reaching back. And time? Time is far too precious to be spent on women who leave you questioning your worth, worn out from trying to understand what went wrong, even when your heart was pure, especially the ones who wear elegance like armor, beauty like bait, manners like a mask. In today's session, we'll uncover 7 subtle yet undeniable signs of a woman who may not be what she seems. This isn't about labeling. It's about protecting your inner peace. As Marcus Aurelius once said, the happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts. But allow me to add this: the stability of your soul depends on the company you keep. So, let's clear the fog together. Let's sharpen your vision. Are you ready? Let's begin. 1. The eternal victim. There's a certain type of woman most men don't recognize until it's too late. She's always the victim, and I mean always. It could be a rude cashier, an unfair boss, an ex who didn't treat her right, her childhood unbearable, her friends always toxic, her relationships all betrayal, and you're the one sitting across from her, listening, nodding, maybe even feeling protective. She speaks with passion. Her words drip with pain, and at first you admire her for surviving so much. You think, maybe she just needs someone to love her the right way. That's the bait, but the longer you stay, the clearer it becomes. This isn't about healing. This is about control. She repeats the same stories, always casting herself as the one who was hurt, never the one who hurt others. I knew a man named Mark, grounded, loyal. He met a woman like this after going through a rough divorce. She opened up quickly about her ex, her co-workers, her sister, all villains. And he, at first, was her safe place. But over time, he became her new enemy. Any disagreement, any gentle suggestion that maybe, just maybe, she had a part in the chaos, and suddenly he was no different from the rest. A woman locked in victimhood rewrites reality, and if you stay close, you'll be written in as her next betrayal. Stoicism teaches we cannot control others, only our own responses. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." But the woman who clings to victimhood gives that power away and expects you to carry her pain. She will exhaust your time, your energy, and your peace. What should you do? Stop rescuing. Offer kindness, but hold your ground. And if nothing changes, walk away, not out of anger, but out of wisdom. 2. She's addicted to drama. There's a certain feeling you get before the storm hits. You sense it before a single word is said. That's how it starts with her. Not with fireworks, but with tension humming just beneath the surface. She's not just emotional, she's addicted to drama. And I don't mean the occasional outburst we're all guilty of. Her life? It plays out like a never-ending theatre. One where she writes the script, stars in every scene, and burns down the set just to feel alive. To her, peace is uncomfortable. Stability feels like suffocation. So when things get too calm, she sparks a fire. It begins small dash. You miss a text, you seem distracted, and suddenly you're accused of pulling away. A quiet evening turns into a confrontation. You're explaining, apologizing, spinning in circles. Exhausted, while she seems strangely energized. Why? Because chaos makes her feel in control. It keeps attention centered on her. And you become a permanent supporting character in a drama that never ends. Seneca once said, "An angry man opens his mouth and shuts his eyes." And that's what she does. Speaks loudly, but sees nothing clearly. She's not looking for peace. She's chasing emotional stimulation. And if you're nearby, you'll be dragged into the performance. The danger? You won't notice how much it's draining you until your clarity is gone. Your patience thinned, your spirit chipped away. The solution isn't to fix her, it's to reclaim yourself. Step back, emotionally, maybe physically. Let her waves crash while you stay still. As Epictetus taught, we don't control others, only how we respond. And sometimes the wisest response is silence. 3. She controls through guilt. It never starts with a fight. No shouting, no blame. Just a pause, a sigh, a look. You didn't mean to hurt her. You were just busy. Work ran late. You needed time for yourself. But suddenly, the warmth in her eyes is gone, replaced by silence. That silence, it cuts deeper than words ever could. It's the weight of unspoken disappointment, a silent verdict that you've failed her somehow. She doesn't have to say a thing. Her stillness does the talking, and before you know it, you're scrambling to make it right, cancelling plans, bending your schedule, shrinking your world just to avoid that look again. She never asked you to. That's the genius of it. She doesn't demand. She lets guilt do the work. And it works. You start doubting your choices, second-guessing your boundaries, rearranging your life around her moods, until one day you realize you're no longer deciding, you're reacting, not out of values, but out of fear. The fear of being the villain in her silent story, the fear of being not enough. And here's the truth. The more you give in, the more you lose yourself. Your goals blur, your identity fades, and you wake up playing a role she wrote, not the man you were born to be. Epictetus once said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Guilt steals that mastery quietly, not all at once, but in pieces. Every time you sacrifice your truth to please her emotion. So how do you take it back? You stop apologizing for being you. You set firm, steady boundaries. You act from conviction, not avoidance. And when guilt comes creeping again, you breathe. You stand still. You remember who you are, because peace is never taken, it's surrendered, and a Stoic man does not surrender himself to silence dressed as love. 4. She lacks empathy. The fourth sign reveals itself slowly. When life stops being smooth, when something breaks, when you're tired, hurting, or grieving, that's when you truly see who's in your corner. And a woman without empathy, she might still be there, physically, but she's already gone in spirit. At first, you notice small things. You tell her you've had a rough week. She nods, barely looks up from her phone, then quickly shifts the topic back to herself. Something trivial, something easy, or you open up, share something real, something that costs you to say out loud, and she brushes past it, like it's nothing more than background noise. You feel the space grow wider, not between bodies, but between souls. I remember a man named Carter, a good man, lost his wife after a long illness. He tried dating again, met a woman who seemed kind, warm, patient, until the grief rose up again, until he needed someone to sit with him in silence, someone to just be there. But she couldn't. She became restless, distracted. She filled the silence with shallow words and quickly steered the conversation back to herself. And that's when he realized he felt more alone with her than without her. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." But I'd add this: don't waste your time hoping someone will become something they're not. Empathy isn't something you teach. It's either there or it isn't. And when it's missing, you feel it like a cold wind, even when she's right beside you. The Stoics teach us to accept what is, not what we wish. And if she cannot show up when life hits hard, she will not stand with you through the storms ahead. So don't demand more. Don't try to pull love from where it doesn't grow. Choose differently. Walk away, not bitter, but clear. 5. She's obsessed with superficial things. It always starts small. A comment about your car, a glance at someone else's watch, an offhand question. Is that really what you're wearing? At first, it feels like curiosity, like she just appreciates the finer things. But soon, you begin to notice. She isn't just admiring the world, she's measuring it. She weighs people by what they own, how much attention they attract, what brand is stitched into their collar, and somewhere in the middle of it all, she starts weighing you too. You feel it, that subtle pressure to upgrade, to impress, to chase. Suddenly, your value isn't in your values, it's in your bank account, your image, your status, and no matter what you do, it never feels like enough. She's not chasing things for comfort, she's chasing them for identity, and identity built on appearances is like building a house on sand. The Stoics warned us about this. Epictetus said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." But a woman obsessed with appearances is never truly satisfied, not because she's greedy, but because her worth is borrowed. She needs the world to clap, so she can feel seen. She needs the glitter to distract from the emptiness. And you become part of the show. Another trophy, another mirror she polishes to reflect status. But Stoicism reminds us, externals are indifferent. They don't define who you are. Virtue does. Character does. A woman who can't see past the surface will never see the depth in you. She'll walk beside you, but only if the lighting is flattering. So, what do? You let her chase the lights. You choose peace. You walk away, not because you're angry, but because you're no longer willing to sell your soul for someone else's illusion. 6. She can't admit she's wrong. It starts with a small disagreement, something minor, a miscommunication, a forgotten detail. You explain your side, calmly, with facts. You think clarity will solve it, but she doesn't hear your words. She hears threat, and suddenly it's no longer about what happened. Now it's about how you made her feel, how you always do this, how you never understand. The original point dissolves beneath a flood of emotion. You try again, not to win, just to make peace. But each attempt only fuels the fire, and that's when you realize she can't say those 3 simple words. I was wrong, not because she's evil, but because to her, being wrong isn't a mistake. It's a weakness. And weakness is something she fears more than losing you. She'll defend a lie, protect a poor decision, even twist reality just to avoid confronting fault. Because in her world, being right equals being worthy. And the moment that crumbles, so does her identity. But here's the cost. She can't grow. She can't connect. She can't build trust. Because learning requires humility, and humility requires surrender. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If someone proves me wrong, I'll gladly change. It's the truth I seek." That's not just wisdom. That's strength. But in a relationship with someone who resists truth, you'll find your reality constantly questioned, your words always dissected, your logic turned against you. You'll carry the burden of being the calm one, the reasonable one, until you're not even sure if your voice matters anymore. And here's the irony. In her effort to stay strong, she weakens the very bond that could have held her. A relationship like this becomes less about love and more about control. The Stoic man knows you don't need to win. You need to walk in truth, and you need a partner who sees truth not as a threat, but as a path. Choose the woman who has the courage to say, "I was wrong," not because she's perfect, but because she's growing. And if she can't say it, walk away, not out of pride, but out of clarity. Because life's too short to love someone who can't meet you at the level of truth. 7. She disrespects your time. By now, life has probably taught you. Time is the most sacred thing you'll ever own. Money can be regained. Health can be rebuilt. But time, once it's gone forever. That's why a woman who doesn't respect your time is more than careless. she's dangerous to your peace. Not in one big explosion, but in quiet, consistent erosion. You don't even notice it at first. She's late. Then she cancels last minute, then forgets altogether. You tell yourself it's no big deal. She's just busy. Life happens, right? But soon, you're adjusting your whole schedule. You're waiting in restaurants, alone. You're rescheduling work, skipping weekends with your friends. And every time, she has a reason. But you're the one left holding silence. I knew a man once, Daniel. Successful, self-made. He met a woman who made him feel seen, until he started feeling invisible. The turning point. He looked at me one day and said, "Man, it feels like I'm always waiting for her." That's what happens. She doesn't steal your time loudly. She drains it quietly, while making you feel like being patient is your job. But Stoicism teaches otherwise. Seneca wrote, "It's not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." And Daniel realized she wasn't too busy. She just didn't value his time, because she didn't value him. The answer isn't fighting, it's clarity. When you respect your time, you teach others how to do the same. A woman who honors your presence will honor your minutes. She'll show up when she says she will, because your time isn't a convenience, it's your life. As Epictetus asked, "How long will you wait before you demand the best for yourself?" Daniel stopped waiting. So should you. Now I ask you, have you ever felt like your time was quietly slipping away for someone who never really showed up? Tap that like button if this hit home. Subscribe to the Stoic Spirit for more content like this. And drop a comment. What moment made you realize your time wasn't being valued? See you in the next video. And remember, your time is sacred. Spend it wisely.